Naomi's Road, Chapter 13. It's around noon. Naomi and Stefan are playing at the side of the house, making a little pond with a bowl of water, rocks, and flowers. Obi-san is knitting. All of Naomi's clothes from Vancouver are too small now, and Obi-san is adding longer sleeves to make her sweaters bigger. Naomi is putting a buttercup in the bowl for a pretend lily pad when she hears someone calling, "Hi!" The horrid girl and her mother are in the middle of the road. They're both shielding their eyes from the sun as they look up. The flag flaps coolly in the mountain air. "Hello," the mother says. "I heard your flute, and I heard you both singing our national anthem last night when I was out for a walk. My, but you have a lovely voice, young man, and you are a fine, fine player." "Oh, yes, you are indeed. Indeed you are." Stefan stands up and puts his feet apart, his hands on his hips. He is scowling at the horrid girl, who is standing with her arms folded and pouting. He marches to the foot of the flag and stands at attention in front of it. "This is my flag," Stefan says. "This is my country. I don't care what you say." "Yes," the mother says, nodding her head sadly. "Of course it's your flag, and it's our flag too. We have come over to say we are sorry for being unkind. Haven't we, Mitzi?" The horrid girl looks down at her shoes. She kicks the grass and shakes her head. Then she comes over to Naomi and leans her head to the side. "My name is Mitzi," she says. "What's your name?" "Hello, Naomi." "Hello, Naomi," Mitzi's mother said. "And what is your brother's name?" "Stefan." "Tell Stefan you're sorry for being unkind," Mitzi's mother says. Mitzi makes a face at her mother and tosses her head. "I don't like boys," she says. And she turns around and stomps. Then she comes over to Naomi and puts her hand to Naomi's ear. "Can you come and play at my house?" she whispers. Naomi can hardly believe what she's hearing. Will Mitzi let her play with her fluffy white rabbits? "Ask your mother," Mitzi says. Mitzi doesn't know that Obi-san is not Naomi's mother. Naomi runs inside to ask. Obi-san puts down her knitting and nods gently, giving Naomi a bag of cookies. "For Mitzi," Obi-san tells Naomi and goes outside with her. "Oh, thank you," Mitzi's mother says when Naomi gives them to Mitzi. "Say thank you, Mitzi." "Can I eat one?" Mitzi asks. Obi-san smiles and Mitzi's mother smiles. It seems to Naomi that the trees and the birds and the sun and the flag and all the creatures in the whole world are smiling right now. Mitzi skips down the path, munching the cookie. "Come on," she calls to Naomi. Naomi feels too shy to skip, but walks quietly to keep up. When they come into her yard, Mitzi breaks one of the cookies into little bits. She puts them in a little doll's dish on her doll's table. All afternoon they play together. Naomi cuddles Mitzi's bunnies. At first they make little jerky jumping movements with their back feet, but afterwards they get used to Naomi. They eat sticks of carrots and pieces of lettuce. Their wiggly noses sniff and snuff. One is called Patsy, the other called Gruff. Mitzi tells Naomi that when they have babies, Naomi can have one. Naomi wants to jump and run home to tell Stefan. Almost every day after this, Mitzi and Naomi play. They make up games and concerts. They make a playhouse out of blankets in the trees. They make mud pies and pine needle tea and have tea parties with the dolls. They make secret codes. One time, they find a dead bird and bury it wrapped in birch bark in the woods. They promise they will be friends to birds forever. And they print a secret on the birch bark and put it under the stone that marks the mossy place where the bird is buried. Another time, when they are playing house, Mitzi wears Naomi's blue beaded necklace. Mitzi likes it so much, Naomi lets her keep it. Mitzi has 3 favorite dolls. One has eyes that close with a click sound when she's laid on her back. She's a fancy doll in lacy pink dress and white socks, white shoes, and white tiny shoelaces. When she is spanked or put on her stomach, she makes a crying noise. The second doll is a Raggedy Ann with long pigtails like Naomi has. She was a Christmas present when Mitzi was 4. Mitzi loves Raggedy Ann the best. "I want braids like yours and my dollies," Mitzi says. "I want curly golden hair like yours," Naomi tells Mitzi. "Let's trade," Mitzi says. They giggle because they know they can't do that. Mitzi's third favorite doll is the most dear baby doll that Naomi has ever seen. It has big blue eyes and chubby little arms and legs. She drinks from a bottle and wets her diaper. Her name is Baby. When they get tired of playing with Mitzi's dolls, they play hide and go seek and Mother May I, and they skip from one end of the skipping rope tied to a tree. They read Mitzi's storybooks and play with paper dolls and jacks and color in coloring books and make shadow plays with a sheet. They swing and eat tea biscuits that are just like the ones Mama used to make. Most of all, Naomi likes making up adventure stories about Mitzi and herself. She pretends they are magic and can become invisible or tiny as Tom Thumb or Momotaro in The Peach. Sometimes the giant Gulliver comes and carries them away to be with elves and fairies in the forest. On Naomi's birthday, Mitzi brings her a present. It's a box so big she can barely carry it. "What is it?" Naomi asks. The box is wrapped in white tissue paper and has a big pink bow. "Guess," Mitzi says. "It's not a heavy box." Naomi holds it and rattles it and shakes it. It doesn't make a sound. "I can't guess," she tells Mitzi. "What could be so light in such a big box?" Naomi unties the bow carefully and opens the box. All she can see are big handfuls of crumpled tissue paper. She wonders if it's a joke, and Mitzi has brought an empty box. "Keep going," Mitzi says as Naomi takes out the paper. Naomi takes out more crumples, and then Naomi sees her. It's Baby. It's the dearest, sweetest doll that there ever was. Naomi is too surprised for words. She puts her hand down into the crumples and lifts Baby up gently. She's wearing a brand new pink knitted dress with little pink booties and a pink and white bonnet. Her bottle is around her wrist with an elastic band. "Oh," Naomi holds her in her arms. "Isn't she pretty?" Mitzi says. "Mommy made the dress." Naomi hardly dares to ask if she can keep her. "It's your birthday present," Mitzi says. Naomi wants to laugh and cry at the same time. She must be the luckiest, happiest girl alive. She wraps a tea towel around Baby and cradles her in her arms. "Can I really keep her?" she asks. "Yes," Mitzi says. And that's the end of chapter 13.